In today's video, I want to show you the MPC workflow. I'm using an MPC Studio. So this is basically a tutorial on how to sample. So I got my MPC Studio right here. I got the MPC software running to my right side on my computer. So I definitely want to sample, and I want to sample from YouTube just because I think it's easier, especially when you're first starting out. I'm gonna do it through the Minifuse Control Center with the loopback function. So basically what the loopback function allows me is to, when I go to the sampler page on the MPC, which you do by holding down mode and going to pad 13, which says sampler. This is where you can record all of the samples through your audio interface. So basically I got a sample on YouTube right here. I want to sample this. I want to sample around like 140. And the way I want to record the sample is by using the slice method. The slice method allows me to slice the sample while playing it. So most of songs usually work the way that you tap 4 times to get 1 bar. And I can do that while I'm actually hearing the song, which is a very efficient way to get right into the beat making. And that is what I want to do. So in this case, as I said, I want to sample around 140, but I'm actually going a little bit before at 137. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start the recording of the first slice. So I just press it, it starts blinking. When I press again, it's gonna create the next chop. But yeah, let's go ahead and record the sample. As soon as I'm done with the chops, I just press on this button and this screen will appear, and we can just hit edit and we'll land on the sample edit page, which you always can access by pressing pad 5 while holding down mode. To access the chops, we just go to the chop page right here, and then we can see all of the chops, and you can see that they're pretty even. So the next thing that I would do is turn on zero snap. This basically helps me to prevent any clicks and pops within the chops. Generally, the first thing I would do is to go ahead and select the first chop because I have a lot of silence in the beginning. Then I go to sample start and I just start turning this knob until I get to the beginning. And my beginning is actually around here because this is the first beat of the bar. To get it more precise, I press on zoom and start using the knob to zoom in so that I can get a better look at the chop. Pretty much at the beginning, but I maybe want to fine tune it a little bit. So therefore I can press shift, and while I hold shift, I can use the knob to get very precise with the beginning of the chop. This sounds pretty good to me. And as soon as I'm done with the first chop, I just press the next one and I start with adjusting it. So usually this is pretty easy to hear because we can hear the snare, which helps us to find the start point of this chop. And the cool thing is, while I'm adjusting these samples one by one, I can actually, already get a sense of the chops that I like. For example, I really like this one. This is a very cool chop, and I will remember that on the first page that this pad 5 is a chop that I'm probably gonna go back to as soon as I'm trying to find a pattern with this. As soon as we're done with chopping the samples and adjusting the samples, we're gonna create a program, which we do by pressing new program and hit do it. As soon as we've done that, we can go to the main page by pressing main, and then we can go to program select and scroll down until it says new sample. Now we can start playing. Another thing I like to do is when I'm trying to work with a sample, I like to pitch it up or down. And we do that by holding down the mode button and going to pad 6, which says program edit. And as soon as we're here, we can adjust a lot of things for the sample and also for the different slices. But all of these settings don't really interest us right now. We're actually just interested in the global semitune. So we could adjust that with the mouse on the computer, but we can actually also do it on the MPC. And basically we do that by pressing the touch strip button at the top left. Press it one time. And now we can scroll on this, and we want to scroll down until it says Q-Link. As soon as it does that, we can hold down the touch strip button until this pad is gonna light up. On the screen we can see that we're on touch strip Q-Link, which means that we're now in the mode of controlling all of these different parameters. So we want to go to this setting, global semitune, which is on the top left. So it's pad 13. As soon as we press that, it's selected. We can let go of the touch strip, and now we can adjust the pitch with the actual touch strip, which is pretty cool. So let's start with maybe pitching it up a little bit, maybe just 2 semitones. We can also test it out how it's gonna sound when we go down a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go with 2 semitones up because I like the tempo of this more, but we should maybe try to see what the other chops sound like. So here we can see that all of these 4 buttons represent one bank. If you're gonna record a longer sample and you want to work with even more slices, you basically just have to double press the bank button to get to the bank E, F, G, and H. So basically like this. As soon as they turn red, you're on the bank E. Press it again and we're back on bank A. So if you want to record a pattern, we need to have the project in the right tempo. To do that, we can actually use this tab tempo button, and we can just press it while we're playing the different chops. So basically like this. So it says 92, let's go with 92 for now. Let's go ahead and actually just record this. And we do that by pressing the record button. This is basically armed now. And as soon as we press play start, it's gonna count us in 4 bars, and then we can start recording. So like this, 4 and... And now it's just gonna loop. So next thing I would do is add the drums, and I'm not going to go too much in detail about the drums. I will make a different video on that. So yeah, let's just add some real quick drums. So how to do that is basically by going to a new track. So we press track select, go to track 2, and we're just gonna go here and call this drums. We can also go ahead and call the first one sample or chops or whatever. And then I like to work with one shots. So I have a program which is program 1. Program 1 is always a empty program which you can drag and drop sounds onto. So I'm just gonna show you real quick. Let's go with a sample from Splice. I could just go in here, grab it, put it in here, and now we have it right here. Let's just start with the snare. In this case, I actually want it to be quantized, so I leave TC on. So this means this button lights up. And we're just gonna go ahead and record this now. And we do that again by pressing record, play start. Next thing, I want to record the hi-hat, and I don't want this to be quantized, so I turn this off. And I also don't want the hi-hat to have the same velocity. I want this to jump around and, you know, be in the background and just, you know, be kind of unpredictable. So therefore I'm gonna go over here and press 16 level, which means that now the hi-hat is put on every single pad of the MPC, but at different velocities. So let's go ahead and record something with that. just like that. So you can see that now that I recorded the hi-hat, the snare is actually gone. And this is something that happens when you press record and play start. Record basically does that whatever you're playing is gonna be recorded, everything else is gonna get deleted. What you wanna do is when you want to record your drums or anything, you have to press overdub, because that basically makes that the program understands that these samples are allowed to play on top of each other. I'm actually pretty happy with how the hi-hat turned out, so we're just gonna record the snare again. We press time correction on, and we press, instead of record, we press overdub and play start. Next thing, I want to record the kick. And I also want this to be quantized just to make it more straightforward, not as complicated. I also want a very, very simple kick. So let's just go ahead and record something. And let's also go ahead and put the open head on it. So yeah, basically you have a beat now. And the cool thing is that, now we can go back to track 1, go to mode and program edit, and we can try to pitch it down and see how it matches with the drums. So maybe let's go down again. So I almost like this better, so I think I'm just gonna keep it. So yeah, I think that will do it for today. Just a very, very simple tutorial on how to use the MPC Studio and how to sample. I hope that this video maybe helped you to get started. Yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.